Welcome back to our PCT Short. I'm Jonah Johnson. So the question of the week, does fall spraying our fields pay? So as you note across your screen here, you see an excellent comparison that Cliff Smith, ASA out of Crestline, shared with me, showing a field split that one that got sprayed and the other one did not. So you tell me, will that pay? So as we're thinking about our herbicide programs here in 2026, if we can start cleaner from the get-go, we're all going to be in a much better place. So you think about the weeds that we're fighting right now. You know, we've been battling the wind so bad in Ohio, which has delayed a lot of herbicide applications. So these weeds have really prospered from these warmer conditions we're starting to get in some of the return moisture. So common weeds that we fight every single year, winter annuals such as annual bluegrass. We have our purple and red dead nettles, henbit, crestleaf groundsel, and of course the dreaded annual ryegrass. And so on a side note, we've had some great data shared from some growers that's been starting to use clethodim in the fall. So when we typically have warmer conditions, better soil fit for applications, incorporating that and done an excellent job at burning off some of these populations and keeping them from overwintering. So keep that in the back of your mind as well. But in regards to what we're facing now, like behind me, consider starting cleaner, because if we can avoid using so much growth regulators from the get-go here in the spring, we'd be in a much better place, because you think we're so dependent on our growth regulators, 2,4-D, dicamba, and clopyralid, products like Stinger, for example, that we need to use through the rest of the growing season. And once we enter our post applications, products like Enlist, we're absorbently dependent on those to try to knock back populations of water hemp and other tough to control broadleafs once they emerge in our growing soybean crop. So keep that in mind. If we can start cleaner and not have to use as much of those early, we're going to be in a much better place. And when you consider the economics of that, looking at the futures of corn and soybeans, we have some positives, rather positive pricing. And when you consider the basic input costs for some very generic 2,4-D dicamba broadleaf regulators, for example, in the fall, you're looking at $5 to $15. And that's a very nominal input cost to try to start cleaner coming into this growing season. So as you're fine-tuning your herbicide programs, just keep that in mind, because the less we use up front and need to, we can save that for later in the season. So for more, follow us on PCTnutrients.com and X. I'm Jonah Johnson. Thanks for watching.